From the Oklahoman newsroom, it's time for the weekly Energy FC update. I'm Jenny Carlson here in studio with the coach, Steve Cook, and special guest this week, Jahn. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, let's start with a little rewind before we look ahead, because you guys got two big matches this week. But Steve, let's talk about last week, that match against Colorado Springs. Pretty even. You guys didn't come out on the winning side, but and I know you don't want to see losses mounting, but what was your impression of the guys after that match?
No, the guys are great. You know, they're positive and energetic and ready to go again. And probably it's a good thing we have a game just a few days later, because we get back on the horse and start riding again. You know, so it's important that we focus on what we're going to do ahead of us in the game. I think we missed 2 or 3 great opportunities to win the game, and that unfortunately didn't happen, and that's football, you know, that sometimes happens. But for us, it's about being positive and energetic and getting ready to go again on Wednesday night.
You know, Adam, you guys are at Colorado Springs, at altitude. 4 days later, you got to go on the road again to play Tulsa, which we'll talk about in a minute. But the challenge of that, what's the challenge for players as you have those quick matches and you include one that's at altitude like Colorado Springs?
I think it's just part of the season. We all knew that going in. There's going to be some tough stretches, and we just do everything we can to get our bodies right. The staff makes a lot of resources available to us to recover, and we're ready already. It's just it's good to have a game, like Steve said, so soon after that loss. Motivation
gets a little bit higher when you want to avenge a loss, get out there, get that taste out of your mouth. Well, that chance comes at Tulsa on Wednesday night. It's a 7:30 start. Last of 3 meetings between you guys and Tulsa. 1-0-1. You guys have had some pretty good success against them. Steve, what do you think has been key to that, to, you know, have played a big rival like Tulsa and not have any losses against them this year?
Yeah, I think when you play a local rival, obviously you know it'll be there might be a little bit more intensity than usual. And I think what we've got to really make certain that we do is start properly in the game, make sure we're energetic right from the word go, make sure we're intense and we're focused, ready for the challenges that always come up. In the last game in Tulsa, we scored very, very early in the game, as we did in the first game of the season. So I'm hoping for that kind of a start again, but really everybody been very positive and really press Tulsa strong and make certain that we do everything we can to come away with 3 points in the game. And I think Tulsa are a decent team. They've certainly done well recently, but I think we're going to be more than ready and up for the challenge.
You guys want that win, obviously, but if you at least get a draw, Adam, you get the wrench. To the winner goes the spoils of the Black Gold Derby. It's the wrench. I mean, do you guys talk about that? Is that something that you guys discuss, to have something like that in your locker room on your side? Yeah, we do, actually. We were talking about it this morning, but it's great to, you know, win hardware. Yeah. And I think it's a cool thing to have when you have a local rival. Yeah. And I was just hearing about this wrench, so yeah. Hopefully we can bring it home tomorrow. Ready to get it there. Yeah, and at Tulsa, Steve, I mean, obviously everybody's excited, but when you have a rivalry, but the Tulsa fans, much like the fans here, really energetic. Do you try to do some things to mitigate that? I mean, getting on the board early is obviously would be the big thing, but you can't always do that, I understand. But do you do some things to try to maybe help yourselves in a hostile road environment like that?
I think you've got to be as prepared as you possibly can be, especially for the early intensity of a game, and know that everybody's going to be a little bit hyped up for the occasion. So stay calm, stay focused, but also stay very sharp, ready for what the game brings. And as Adam just said, you know, anytime we get to bring joy to the fans like that, and anytime there is something to win, whether it's a USL Championship or the wrench or 3 points available, we want to do everything we possibly can to win that game. And certainly it would be a great thing for our fans to have that to celebrate on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I'm sure some will make that journey to Tulsa to cheer you guys on to go against the Tulsa fans. You guys do return home, though, Adam, on Saturday. Real Monarchs SLC coming to town for a 7:30 match. That club leads the Western Conference standings. What do you feel like is going to be important for you guys as you prepare for that match this weekend?
I think confidence, as it always is every game. We feel we have the ability and the quality in the team that it doesn't really matter about the other team. If we play to our potential, we're happy with that, and we'll let the rest take care of itself.
Yeah, Real Monarchs bring in, among them, Kalen Ryden, who's a Norman North product, was on this team at one point, now with them, a starter most of the time. Steve, what do you like about their setup, and what makes them such a challenge? I mean, obviously leading the conference, they've got something going right.
I think for the last 2 seasons, you know, Real Monarchs have been the team to beat in the Western Conference, and I think this season they've started really, really well. They're a very positive team. They're a team that blend well together, and they have several players who can get a goal, and they're very solid at the back as well. And you know, when you're top of the league after this amount of time in the season, 2/3 of the season gone, you're there for a reason. It means that you've been doing things the right way for quite a number of games now, and we expect a tough challenge, but one that I think we're going to be more than ready for.
Yeah, and a home match. It's been a minute, so I'm sure fans will be excited to see you guys back out there at Taft. Adam, we've got you here today. You're a little bit of a new face to the roster, but obviously not a new face to professional soccer. You're on loan from the Columbus Crew, and you've played over 100 matches of MLS over your career, lots of goals, lots of minutes. But to be in Oklahoma City, you know, what's your goals as you sort of look at this time here with the energy and the fact that you do have that wealth of MLS experience? How does that play into all of this?
Well, one of the main reasons I'm in the sport is to compete, and I want to win wherever I am. So the most exciting part is coming here and trying to do whatever I can to help the team win, make the playoffs, go on a run. So that's what gets me excited in the morning, because I think we have a great chance. We have some tough games remaining, but I think we believe in ourselves, and we're going to surprise some people here.
You know, Steve, you've brought in a number of guys with a lot of high-level soccer. How does Adam fit into that desire to continue to bring guys onto the roster who've played at some of the highest levels?
It fits perfectly, because not only has Adam and 1 or 2 others played at a very high level, but they've won at a high level as well, and they've competed for trophies for several years. So Adam's an important addition for us. Obviously, I first knew of Adam when he was at Stanford University. I know the head coach, Jeremy Gunn, and John Smith very, very well there. And not only do people always speak of Adam's ability on the field, but his character off the field, and the fact that he's a great teammate and works hard for the team and does whatever he can, as he just said, to help the team win. And as a hard competitor, as somebody who wants to win at everything you do, then Adam is a great addition to that group. And certainly it's early days right now. He's just played a couple of games, but we're gonna see some great things ahead of us.
As Steve mentions your Stanford experience in college, 24 goals during your collegiate career, 13 as a senior. You had some national team experience as well. You know, soccer, you sometimes sort of get dropped in sort of midstream with things sometimes. Does that help, the fact that you have that national team experience? You know, this team obviously had some weeks under their belt before you came on the roster. Does that help you sort of get acclimated to things?
I think so. I think whenever you can fall back on past experiences, it just gives you the confidence moving forward. And I will say, just coming in and the 2 games we've dropped, like, taken that pretty badly. I hate losing, and I'm just really excited to right the ship, and I think we can.
Yeah. What about your national team experience stands out? Because I think people are always interested in, you know, how that happens, and where you've gone, and what stands out from that experience for you, Adam?
I'd say the international traveling. We went to a few good tournaments. I mean, we went to Portugal, Argentina, Uruguay, and Australia.
Yeah.
So just going to those places at a young age was such a blessing, and I had a great time, and it was a good level. So it was a really good experience.
Yeah, I mean, those first 3 are soccer meccas. I mean, people, that's where some of the best soccer in the world happens, in some of those countries. You have won a USL championship, did that in 14 with Sacramento. You know what it takes to get to that level. What do you feel like these guys that you're playing with now, I mean, where can you go from here? What can you bring to maybe move the needle towards that final goal eventually?
I think we have what it takes already, and if you look at past years, past teams that have won, a common theme is they got hot at the right time. And so everything's setting up perfectly for us. Last stretch of the season, and if we go on a run and get above the red line, man, no one's going to want to play us.
Yeah, yeah. Just get in and see what happens, exactly. I guess. Yeah. Steve, do you feel like it's that close that if you guys can just make sure to get in, then who knows what could happen?
I always feel this, even if mathematically it's not possible, I think it's possible. So I know that we put ourselves in a situation where we have to win some games. It's that simple. You know, early in the season, the first 9 games, we didn't win enough games to be over the red line right now. But there is no question in my mind that every team we play against, we're going to give it a great effort and a great performance to win the game, and I think we can definitely do that. We're creating a lot of chances to win games, and I think once 1 or 2 of those start going in on Wednesday night, then I think we're going to move quickly forwards. And it's amazing that we're so close as well, and I think only great days are ahead. And again, it's about the players. If they perform well and they're great human beings with each other, I think you have a great chance. And the one thing about this group is they work hard every single day. They're fantastic people to be around, great professionals who work hard for each other, and they really are a great family together. So I think only good things are ahead of us.
Adam, have you sensed as you come in, I mean, you obviously were aware as an outsider till you got here about the slow start the team got off to, but now, you know, sort of having those moments of surging. Do you sense that this team has grown from that, built around that? How have you sort of seen that now getting in the mix with these guys?
Yeah, I think you couldn't tell, like the way we behave day in and day out. The morale is high. Guys are eager. There's good competition. Everyone's pushing the group forward, and that's really what you need. I think the guys took that stretch as a learning experience more than anything, and that's all you can do. You don't want to dwell on the negatives. You want to learn from them and then move on. Yeah. So, yeah, great reaction to that, and now we're just all, you know, focused on the goal.
And no better time to get back on the winning track than against Tulsa, against the in-state rival. Again, Wednesday night, 7:30 is start time in Tulsa. If you're headed over, want to pay attention to that. On Saturday, it's a home match. Real Monarchs SLC comes to town. Again, a 7:30 start. So you can check out all the game times, all the ticket information at energyfc.com. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.